Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. I'm your host, Todd Westra, and I've got to tell you, today's interview was impactful. We're talking to a man today who has immigrated to the U.S. from Brazil, not knowing a lot of English, a little intimidated, and ends up finding his way into Stanford University, does his MBA there, does a full program, and by the time he gets out, he launches a business, grows and scales, sells and exits, and then now he's in the process of launching another business. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. This man is someone who has come into the country, been able to connect himself with the right kinds of people who are building the right kind of product to take his insights and his experience and take them to a place of growth and scaling and exit. And now another journey of growth and scaling that I think will intrigue you, because what he's doing is a technical medical play. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know fully how to explain all the parts and pieces. But today's interview was exciting. It was intriguing. It gave me a lot of insights into an industry that I don't know a lot about. And the journey of growth and scaling hits a lot of different challenges that I've never had to face. But there's a lot of challenges that I have faced that we found some connection on. And I think that you, in your journey in growth and scaling, are going to really appreciate the advice, the information, and the experiences that Sergio has had in his growth and scaling journey for his business. Check it out, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the Growth and Scaling Podcast. This is your host, Todd Westra, and I am so glad you're here today because we are going to interview an amazing founder or executive who is going to share with us their decisions that they made that exploded their growth. So if you need some inspiration, you want to hear how other businesses are doing it, this is the place to be, and we are glad you're here. Enjoy this episode. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast. I'm your host, Todd Westra, and we've got an amazing guest on the show today who's going to tell us how they've had experience in growth and scaling. And in this case, I can't wait to hear this story because there's a few twists in the road here that got Sergio to where he is today. Sergio, tell us who you are and what kind of people do you solve problems for?
Hi, Todd. First, nice to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be here talking to everyone. Well, as you said earlier, my name is Sergio. I'm from Brazil, and I'm the founder and CEO of RadioLife. RadioLife is a biotech startup, and we are on a mission to revolutionize diagnostics. We have a proprietary platform that uses radio frequency signatures combined with artificial intelligence modeling to provide faster and more accessible diagnostic tests, improving healthcare outcomes. And, I can't tell enough how excited we are to be at the forefront of innovation in the biotech industry.
Right.
And, can't wait to see the impact that RadioLife will have on people's lives.
All right. So I heard all that, but let's get specific here. Who are you helping with this? I mean, you're biohacking, you're using RF frequencies to somehow calibrate stuff in our bodies. Like, what are you doing? What kind of problems do you fix?
So the biggest problem I see in the diagnostic industry that it's heavily reliant on reagents, and we've all now it's we've all been exposed to what it is like to be in a pandemic recently,
right?
The consequences of having the industry so much reliant on reagents. That ultimately means, slow tests and not very accessible. If you want to test for COVID all the time, it's just it's too expensive, and sometimes you can't even find it. So it's definitely there is a problem, right? That we all can understand that's out there and needs to be solved.
Right. Okay, so real life example. So you talked about COVID, and your testing methodology uses a far different technology to actually read what's going on in our bodies. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, that's correct. So our technology, as I said, uses radio frequency. So we expose the sample that's to be tested through with a spectrum of radio waves, and that gives like if you think about how it looks like, it's just like a electrocardiogram, like with different absorptions in each frequency. That for us it's not very meaningful as humans when we look at it, but combining that with machine learning, there's a high accuracy and ability to detect what sample has what kind of pathogens.
Okay, that's actually really cool. Now that I understand that better, I am like totally about to nerd out here because, I've used radio frequency in the past in some of my businesses to, send a remote control signal to a electronic device and tell it what to do. But you're talking about using radio frequency to actually read inside of our bodies what's going on and how to detect stuff that we haven't even told you about. Is that right?
Yeah. So we built a lightweight device, portable device that we call CubeScan, and we're not reading through the body with this prototype we built. Initially, we're gonna test samples. That could be any liquid sample, like saliva, nasal swab, you name it, blood samples. So that's the first version of our product. But by not using any reagent to test the sample and being able to have results in under 20 seconds, it's like a huge improvement from whatever system and solution is available to us right now.
All right, this is really cool. So I'm hearing you tell me about stuff that's way over my head, and I know that you are from Brazil, not necessarily the forefront of medical technology and all this stuff. Where have you come in this journey to come to learn about all this technology and all these types of things that you're doing right now? And then secondly, how have you formed this business and grown it to where you are right now? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
It's an amazing journey, Todd. I can't tell. Well, I have a background in computer science, right? So a lot of artificial intelligence and machine learning are things that I've been exposed to throughout my professional life. Awesome. I supported startups developing their products. And when I came to the US, initially I was working and helping startups in different industry, but mainly in health tech industry. So that's when I first started, paying attention to the healthcare space. And, as time went by, my co-founder, Williams, came to me with the technology idea, and he's the inventor.
Wow.
So I had a successful exit in the telecom in the past, and that's when I met him. So we decided to get together again and develop this technology together.
I love it. So you have had a successful exit in the past, and now you're growing this business in a different vertical.
Exactly. So it's different, but if you think about telecom and we use radio waves, there's some connection there.
Yeah, no, there totally is. And now you're making me nervous because we carry these things around all the time and we don't know what RF frequencies going through our bodies, do we?
Yes, you're exactly right. We have radio frequencies going all over through us all the time. And that's something that we, as we were developing our device and technology, we had to be careful about to avoid, different radio frequencies impacting and having an impact on the results that we are providing. So we had to take care of the right casing to avoid, not only radio frequencies from the environment coming in our device, but also our radio frequencies coming out of the device and having interference with other radio waves.
I love it. All right, this is super cool. So now you've come to the US, 8 years ago, something like that. You're college educated here. You started a business, sold a business, and now you've got a friend who comes up to you and says, check out this technology. Let's grow this thing. And you jumped in and said, right on, let's do this. What's been your favorite part so far about the growth journey of this business?
Well, I think the ability to innovate and create something new, and the ability to make a positive impact on people's lives, it's the I would say my favorite aspect of it.
I like that. That's a really cool aspect of it. Now, what about the flip side of this? Starting a business is never all fun and games. No, at least for most people, it's not. What's been your biggest challenge in trying to grow this? I mean, you're introducing new technology. You're introducing it to the medical field, a medical profession who isn't always like excited to hear about new technology. Where are you hitting the roadblocks at?
I would say my biggest challenge has been balancing the need to grow rapidly with the need to maintain the quality of our product and the integrity of our team culture. As we expand, it's important always to ensure that we're bringing on the right people and maintaining the level of excellence that has gotten us to where we are today.
Okay, so how are you doing that?
There's a lot of things we need to pay attention to. It requires significant financial resources, so fundraising and managing cash flow have also been major challenges to me and our startup. But I'm confident that with the right team, and we're still early stage in this journey. If you think diagnostic space, you can't go to the market until you have regulatory approval, and to get to that point, it's a long journey. You have to go through clinical trials, and it's super expensive. So, and to do all that, you need a team with excellence.
So tell me, you mentioned two problems: maintaining quality control as you grow, and maintaining culture as you grow. What have you done to maintain the quality control versus the culture aspect? And maybe touch on both those things for us.
So quality, you have to be vigilant with the processes. You have to make sure the people you have taking care of the processes and the product development, they understand quality management as well. There's a lot of documentation when we talk about regulatory compliance. It needs to be updated all the time, so you have to pay attention to that part. That's the part of summarizing the part of quality management and compliance. The part of the culture, I think it really is like make sure you hire the best people and people that are aligned with your mission, vision, and values. And that's in the beginning when you're interviewing, make questions that, signal to you that they have the same values that you and your company has. I think that's the main point. And then I think
that's a huge point. When you're not aligned, when you got people on your team who are not aligned with your mission, the vision, the values of the company, it is awfully hard. You can hire the best of the best, but when they don't align, everybody feels uncomfortable. Right?
Yes. And also another challenge of the culture aspect is keeping the team motivated to continue going, because there's going to be a lot of obstacles. And sometimes it can be hard for people to stay motivated. So it's our job as founders to, inspire them to continue working hard, make them believe that at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it once we reach our goals, and they're going to see that they're going to impact positively on the lives of people. Talking about healthcare space, but that applies, I think, to any industry. Like if you're developing a product that people are going to use on a daily basis, right?
I think you're talking exactly the right message here. I think for those who are listening, who are trying to grow and scale their business, what was just mentioned, I mean, Sergio, you nailed it. Having that alignment on mission, vision, values, and also just keeping them motivated. It's a lot easier to keep them motivated when they are aligned than guys that are just in it for the exit, guys that are just in it for the financial piece. Well, maybe your mission is really to help people. Maybe your mission is, the vision of the company is to have a long-lasting impact upon people. And when those they don't align, it's like it's butting heads the whole time, and they're going to be miserable in your company when you do hit a roadblock. In your case, for example, maybe having to get some kind of medical approval or government approval, or some agency has to approve what you're doing. You might have to just pause for a second, right?
Exactly. And through the journey, a lot can happen, and the team can lose motivation. Like, let's say you're doing all that and something happens and someone leaves the team, right? That's internal problem, right? How can you make sure that the rest of the team continue with the same motivation and then going with the same energy they were before, right?
Totally. I love it. I love what you're talking about. Definitely a common problem among all verticals, no matter where you're starting your business, no matter how you're trying to grow. Maintaining motivation while you're hitting troubled moments of your growth and scaling journey is a big challenge. But as you overcome it, they stay true and faithful to the company and the brand for quite a long time.
Yes.
So tell us, as a lot of people build a business, they do hit these roadblocks, they hit these challenges. And I always look at some people either in my industry or some people in my network who I think, oh man, if they could do this, I think I could pull this off. Who's inspired you as you kind of have gone through this journey now twice, that you look at and say, oh my gosh, this has been awesome to have them on my team?
Yes, there are many people that I'm fortunate that I have a strong network of mentors and advisors that provided, invaluable guidance and support throughout my journey. Awesome. But there's like one person that has been supporting me since the beginning. That he approached me. He said whatever. Because he saw we were on the news in Brazil, and he saw that. He approached me and said, what you're building is amazing. How can I help? And he didn't ask for anything. He clearly wanted to help. He believed on what we were doing. His name is Leonardo Nogueira. He's also Brazilian. He's from the same city I was born. And since then, we have been having like weekly meetings. And Leonardo, we were in the media in Brazil, and he learned about us and came to me and said, what you're doing is amazing. How can I help? So since then we have been meeting weekly, and he just wanted to help. He didn't ask for anything in return.
Love it.
And his advice is super valuable to me. Whenever I have some kind of roadblocks, I come to him, and
I love it. Having a valuable mentor like that is so important, and it's so valuable. I don't know how anyone can really grow and scale a business without having those people around them. And, for those listening, if you're trying to grow and scale, it's having key people like that around in your circle that keep you motivated, keep you going. It's a lonely feeling being the founder. And when you're trying to keep everyone else motivated, sometimes you need those extra special people around you who can kind of keep you going and channel towards that mission and vision that you've already outlined, right?
Definitely, yeah. And sometimes because we have to always, I say, collect good things all the time. We have to be trying to collect positive outcomes.
For sure.
And shine those collectibles with the team to keep them inspired. But sometimes it's hard. Yeah. Sometimes there are some periods where we don't have too many achievements, and we ourselves stay with our motivation low, and we need someone to keep that light shining.
100%. Keep that light shining. That's awesome. Well, listen, I am so grateful you took the time to be on our show today. I know that there's a lot of people who are listening who are in a similar position. They're trying to attack an industry that's a little hard to crack sometimes. Takes some time to get all the approvals and everything going in the right direction. And also in the thick of that fundraising journey that you're on right now, which isn't always fun. There's a lot of fun in fundraising. You know what I mean? So,
yes, it's a tough journey, and so we need to focus on networking and establishing relationships and have fun through the process. That's important.
I love it. Well, listen, thanks for being here, Sergio. We're going to add links to how to connect to Sergio in the show notes below. Please don't hesitate to follow up with him. And if you're interested in what he's developing and how the technology is going to work, and you're interested in investing, I imagine he would love to talk to you. So do reach out, do follow. I love the inspiration that came from this experience. And Sergio, I wish you the best in all that you're doing to grow and scale your business. Thanks for being on today.
Thank you, Todd. I'm happy to connect with everyone. Thanks for having me.
All right. Very cool stuff. Would you say? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd also love to hear how any of you have been involved in any of these experimental treatments. Have you ever been a part of a study like this, where they're taking a technology that normally is not used for medical and transitioning it into a medical play like this? I love it. I was inspired. I love the creativity. I love the connectivity that he has with the medical space and with the other parts that have to come together for this business. And I will say that the energy that he has for the passion he has for his business is infectious. I think it's a great interview. For those of you who are learning how to grow and scale your business, or those of you that have had experience growing and scaling in this industry, I highly recommend you connect to Sergio. Give him some advice. Give him some help. We are a community of founders here. If you have questions, comments, please don't hesitate to leave them. And if you have anything that you can use to help him along his journey, I highly suggest reach out to him in the contact information below. And I hope that his technology at some point will come back to help you in your medical journey throughout your life. I know I'm banking on it. Sounds like an amazing thing. Thanks for being here on the show today. And for all of you learning how to grow and scale your business, I wish you the best of luck and hope that these episodes are providing a value that you can't find in any other place. I know that they inspire me. They give me the information I need to help and grow my business, and I hope that it does the same for you. Have a great day, and we hope to see you on another episode of the Growth and Scaling Podcast.